Welcome to the Robert F. Savitt chapter of the National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. I would like to give a special welcome to our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mary O'Mara, and all of the other Central Administration who are here tonight, Dr. Vincent Mulieri, Mr. Richard Cunningham, and Mr. Christopher Donarumo, as well as the Board of Education members who are present tonight, Ms. Debbie Bernstein, Mr. Gary Batan, Ms. Tara Rock, Ms. Ginger Lieberman, Mr. Seth Greenberg, and Ms. Lauren Sackstein. A special thank you to Mr. Jay Aspara from the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center for being our guest speaker tonight, as well as our principal, Mr. Murray, and all of the JFK High School administrators and faculty present tonight. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem, organized, produced, and performed by members of the Tri-M Music Honor Society.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hello, and good evening to all the inductees, families, faculty, building, and central administration, and Board of Education members watching this live induction ceremony. My name is Ben Yott, and I was fortunate to serve as the president of the Robert F. Savitt National Honor Society chapter for the 2020-2021 term. This most unusual year was one that tested our durability, flexibility, and grit in not only as an organization, but also as the resilient 208 leaders that compose it. We were able to rise above the challenges inherent to an almost entirely virtual programming year and thrive in this new and unique environment. Although we often couldn't be together face-to-face, this separation focused the attention of National Honor Society back onto the community. This pandemic has upended almost all facets of our life, which made this year an especially important and necessary year for those around us in need, near and far. This year started for us almost exactly how it will for you, watching this live stream now. After a couple of months of virtual school, nightly family dinners, and social isolation from my friends and classmates, I had this induction to look forward to. However, all I could think about was the board position that I spent weeks prior applying for and interviewing. If you had asked me freshman year if I would see myself applying for and eventually receiving the position of President of National Honor Society, I first would have asked you what National Honor Society is, and then why I would ever want to be the president of it. After seeing the financial, health, and social implications of this virus in our local community and across the world in the months leading up to the 2020 induction ceremony, I knew I had to do something. I have always been passionate about helping the less fortunate and giving back to those in my community, and after learning that NHS is founded on the principles of leadership, character, service, and scholarship, I knew that this was how I wanted to give back. I learned from interviewing that it was common practice for next year's board to be announced during the induction ceremony, so I sat anxiously listening to the previous board speeches, hoping that I would be in their position in a year. As we got closer to the end of the ceremony, and I still hadn't heard any reference to this new board, my anxiety was replaced with confusion. Ms. Verdi said that the next board would be announced the following day on the Twitter account, which seemed like the worst news I could hear at the time. I'd have to wait another full day. However, it was this extra 24 hours that made it so much more special. As I anxiously refreshed the Twitter page, at the time of the release, I still had not seen any news. Naturally, I began to assume the worst, wondering if only those selected were notified. My friends who also applied began calling me saying that they were chosen, and that the old board came to their house to share the news. However, no one had stopped by me, and I shut down my computer. Yet, as I walked downstairs to make some consolation ice cream, I heard a honk come from outside. Holding on to my last glimmer of hope, I grabbed my dad's old Crocs as I rushed out of my pajamas to be greeted with a loud bang accompanied with confetti, the current president, Ethan, my parents, and grandparents. All I heard was, "You got it," from Ethan, and still slightly taken aback, I asked, "Got what?" To which he replied, "You are the new president for Plainview NHS." From this moment on, I knew that National Honor Society wasn't just another school club, but something that strives to sincerely make a difference in the lives of all those involved. I quickly learned to expect the unexpected and to never count anything out, especially in a year as crazy as the last two we have had. I beg that all of you take from this story the message that everything happens for a reason, and that NHS will continue to surprise and amaze you for the next year to come. While it might not be easy, I promise you that the lessons you learn, the experiences you have, and the difference you make will prove the benefits of sticking with this incredible organization. I have never been a part of something that solely exists to help whoever it can, and I am beyond honored to have led these efforts for the past year. I'm not going to lie when I say that this year was tough for the National Honor Society. We weren't able to do the big in-person inductions and events that are so characteristic of our organization, and most of our service to the community was limited behind a computer screen. However, with the help of my vice presidents, Joey, Andrew, and Kayla, Ms. Verdi, and the rest of our amazing 19-person board, and all of our dedicated and passionate members, we truly reinvented NHS. Not only did we meet the challenges we faced, but we rose above them and conquered them. From revamping our tutoring program into an entirely one conducted through Google Meets, to initiating programs virtually such as Read Aloud with elementary school kids and later Bridges, to creating our first ever virtual 10K service project that raised just under $18,000 for 11 special charities, to conducting multiple Mows and Catch the Wave fundraisers while maintaining all COVID safety protocols. I am so incredibly impressed and proud of everything that we have been able to accomplish. This year, as in every year prior, I was tasked with picking a presidential mission, or a cause that I would dedicate my efforts throughout the year to. Growing up in Queens and spending significant amounts of time in the city, I was frequently exposed to homelessness. I often felt guilty that I was living a privileged life while others were suffering. I would beg my parents to give them a few dollars, and I would toss and turn in bed thinking about how cold and hungry they must be on the barren winter streets. As a result, throughout middle school and high school, I volunteered at my local soup kitchen and regularly stocked a pantry at the JCC. When given an opportunity to support a cause, I knew that local homelessness would be the problem I'd focus on as president. I selected the Long Island Coalition for the Homeless as the organization that I would work with after reading about the many drives they are involved with in our town and local community. In the fall, I conducted a sweatshirt drive after recognizing the abundance of used hoodies that students tend to have and not wear in our community. It was a huge success, resulting in over 100 sweatshirts collected after a month-long school collection and an out-of-school drive at the Plainview Library. Over the winter, I also conducted a service project where kids were tasked with creating toiletry kits of at least 15 items to donate to the coalition. This was opened up to the Community Service Club as well, and we collected 115 kits to donate. My contact person at the coalition said that this was incredibly beneficial and exactly what people needed with the economic struggles brought about by COVID-19 and its horrible effects in the homeless community. Additionally, with the help of the Community Service Club, NHS was able to participate in its first Super Bowl food drive, which collected food for the Rudman JCC food pantry, as well as Long Island Harvest. Finally, I recently worked with the president of the Students Combating Corona Club at Syosset High School to collect food, clothing, and toiletries for a drive that she was conducting with other community service organizations and National Honor Society groups across Long Island. This opportunity was opened up to the entire district, and it was really special to see everyone come together to support this important cause. I can't wait to see what more our board has in stock for us the last month. And now, finally, for the thank yous. First and foremost, my board. We have been given a year like no other, and yet we have all persevered and done a better job than I could have ever imagined. Meeting twice a month in addition to our monthly general meetings and constant FaceTimes, Zooms, and texts can be daunting, especially during an already hectic senior year. However, not once have any of you complained, because you know that serving in this position is something special and unique. I sincerely thank you all for the hard work that you have put in this last year, and I couldn't have asked for a better group to take this journey with. Next, thank you to administration, and especially Ms. Beltrani, for always working with us, Ms. Verdi, and me myself, to make our program ideas a reality and allow NHS to be the best that it could possibly be. We wouldn't have been able to have been so successful this year without your support and dedication to our goals. This next ever so important thank you goes out to our advisor, Mrs. Verdi. You are the backbone of this incredible organization, and I have never seen someone so passionate about something in my life. You make us all want to work harder, and I speak for myself and the rest of the board when I say that you make NHS what it is. Thank you for always being there for us. Moreover, NHS would not have been possible without the Board of Education, Central Administration, including Superintendent Dr. O'Mara, and the Building Administration, including Principal Murray. You all have constantly supported this honor society and continue to ensure that it still has the opportunity to run during a pandemic, and this is the greatest gift that we could ask for as an organization. I can't thank you enough. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents for their dedication to my position. When I come downstairs exhausted from a board meeting or planning an event, you both remind me of the reasons why I ran for president in the first place and keep me focused and driven. From leaving the house during general meeting days to helping me hang up the banner behind me, you have always been so supportive of what I am passionate about, and I thank you for that. Finally, to the class of 2022, I sincerely wish you all the best in this upcoming year of NHS. This organization is really what you make of it, and you get out exactly what you put in. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, be the change you wish to see in the world, and this can start with NHS. Always strive to do better and not limit yourself on the basis of position title. Never be afraid to ask questions, reach out to the board, and share your ideas. You are the future of NHS, and I am confident that your group will continue to carry out the legacy that is the Robert F. Sabat, Plainview Bethpage National Honor Society. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce Andrew Blobstein, our Vice President of Community Service, who spearheaded some of the most amazing programs we were able to provide to our community during the last year.
Hello. When I was first inducted virtually into National Honor Society last year, I immediately knew I wanted to interview for an executive board position, more specifically VP of Community Service. Several of my extracurricular activities already revolved around community service, and I thought that this position would be a good fit for me. Community service has always been a very important part of my life, and I wanted to make others feel the same way about it. Usually when people think about community service, they assume it is just volunteering, to get hours we need in order to get our honor cords, and that is it. However, community service is more than just hours. It's about the benefits you bring to your community. You are all special students, and I know you all have the ability to make a difference in this community. It's the small actions that we do within the community that make the difference. This year, our National Honor Society members completed over 800 total hours of community service. They also participated in one or two of the 3 service projects that we ran, each of which raised money or collected items for a specific cause. Our first service project of the year, the virtual 10K, generated more than $18,000, which we distributed to several different charities. In our second and third service projects, our members made over 100 kits with items requested by the Long Island Coalition for the Homeless and the Firemen's Home. All in all, community service is a key component of the National Honor Society, and giving back to the community is a feeling like no other. The sense of pride that you feel when you are able to make a difference and help out is unparalleled to anything I've ever felt, and I truly can't wait for all of you to enjoy that same feeling next fall. Thank you. And now we will hear from our Vice President of Tutoring, Joey Klein.
Hello, inductees and families. I would like to start by congratulating each of you on your induction into the National Honor Society. Being inducted is a sure testament of your scholastic aptitude, commitment to serving your community, stellar personality, and leadership potential. Your time in this society will allow you to further develop your skills in each of the aforementioned areas for both yourself and those that you will serve. With regard to the tutoring department in particular, you will achieve 5 of your 10 required hours from partaking in tutoring activities. Tutoring is a gratifying experience, since you will directly contribute to helping other students reach the new academic heights. There is nothing more rewarding than watching your student perform better as a direct result of your help. In terms of tutoring activities, there must be a wide variety of activities available to ensure that all of the members are able to complete 5 hours. This year, my board and I were tasked with designing virtual tutoring activities from scratch, and this required immense creativity. Some of these activities included our virtual one-to-one tutoring program, elementary read-aloud program, ebook program, Bridges program, and middle school book club. Each program allowed for a different type of Honor Society student to thrive. For example, our one-to-one program allowed an Honor Society student to be paired with the student in the district who needed tutoring in a specific area. This was great for a tutor who felt comfortable helping a student individually. For students who preferred working with a team of tutors and engaging in activities with elementary kids, our Read Aloud and Bridges program did the trick. It is imperative that next year's board looks to achieve the same goal of designing programs that appeal to all members. As far as next year goes, society will hopefully be in a better place than it is now as the pandemic continues to decline. This will likely indicate a need for the Honor Society to offer both in-person and virtual programs as everyone is gradually shifting back towards normalcy. This will require a great deal of commitment and effort by both the board and membership. It is my sincere hope that this prestigious Honor Society will continue to prosper next year in spite of the challenges that it will be presented with. I wish all of you the best of luck in carrying out your programs and hope that you all gain something from the experience and find it rewarding.
Each year, one of the major responsibilities of our chapter is to coordinate and implement the chapter-wide service projects. These projects are designed to help give back to the members of the community, near and far, through the efforts of the membership as a whole. Through our planning, hard work, and implementation of the various service projects, we were introduced to an amazing and inspiring man named Jay Asparo. Through learning about his mission and passion to help raise awareness and funds for research and a cure for Alzheimer's and dementia, we wanted to shed light on this important cause. Speaking with Mr. Asparo, he has inspired each and every one of the members of our board, and we hope he will do the same for you. To our newest members, please listen to the words of Mr. Asparo and think about how we can give back and do more for the people around us. Let his words inspire you to be the leaders of our community and in our schools. Be the change you want to see in others. I am pleased to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Mr. Jay Asparo.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay Asparo, and I'm so humbled, grateful, and honored that I'm able to share my story with you tonight. I just want to say a big thank you to Kelly Verdi, who's given me the opportunity to share my story with you, the National Honor Society. I'm here because I'm doing something pretty special this year in honor of my grandmother, Anna Sparrow, who passed away 2 years ago from Alzheimer's, and also trying to raise money and awareness for the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center that's located in Westbury and is just a nonprofit organization that's trying to help families that are going through the awful disease, Alzheimer's and dementia, and giving them support in the community. And as a National Honor Society, you guys are all doing great things. And I just want those who love doing great things and giving back to the community, I hope my story just gives you continued faith in doing what you're doing and doing good. And then for those of you that maybe you're not sure how to help others or do good, or you don't think it's a good thing, I hope that maybe my story will inspire you to give back and help other people, because the greatest thing in life is helping other people. I was a very selfish person in my younger years and always was thinking about myself and what could I do for me to get ahead in life and do better and bigger things for myself. And, you know, what I've learned over these last 7 years in giving back is the greatest thing that I ever done in life was not making a lot of money, wasn't all these awards, but the greatest thing was having impact on another person, another human being's life. And they've come up to me and said, thank you for doing this run and raising money for the Alzheimer's and Dementia Center, or you've inspired me to do something I haven't done before. And that's what I'm continuing to do today. So for tonight and this talk, I want to inspire someone like yourself. So as you're listening to me talk about my story, I hope that I inspire you. And then one day you're going to inspire somebody else. And we hopefully get to meet, and you can tell me one day that I gave you that spark to do something good, because that's what I try to do, is just give people a spark, because everything and anything is possible in life. It's just a matter of getting up and doing it, and you're going to fall down. But if I fall down 7 times, I guarantee you I'm going to get up 8 times. And don't worry about being afraid or failure. Failure is part of success. And in my story tonight, I failed miserably. But I knew I had to keep pushing forward and moving forward. So failure is part of success. failure is what you learn in order to be successful. It keeps you grounded. It gives you that gratitude. Gratitude is the best attitude, right? You need to be grateful for the things you have in your life. If something doesn't work out, there's a reason for it. But with all this being said, I want to share with you how I learned all this over the last 7 years. So my grandmother, Anna Sparrow, she was the most important person in my life. She had 3 sons, 7 grandchildren. I was the youngest grandchild, and obviously I was her favorite, and she loved me more than everybody else, but don't tell them that. And then she had 13 great-grandchildren, all about family, all about love, and she just had an amazing faith. So that's what she was to me and my family. And she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And if you don't know what Alzheimer's is, it's a disease of the brain where there's plaque buildup in the brain and there starts to be memory loss. And it's a difficult disease. Everyone just thinks, oh, you just forget. But it's more complicated than just not remembering things. My grandmother had to be put into a nursing home. And while she was at the nursing home, things in her health started to deteriorate, especially her brain. And then my mom, my dad, or my aunt and uncle went every single day to that nursing home to be with her for 8 years. They rotated. Now that, for me, just was like, that's crazy that they would have to be at this nursing home every single day for 8 years. I went every Sunday to spend an hour with her to have breakfast. And I just really saw how bad the disease was. And as I was there, she didn't know who I was. She would look at me. She would try to put pieces together of who I was, but she could never remember who I was. And for me, I was more embarrassed about myself and what was going on because she kept repeating herself, asking me the same questions. And the first time I went, I stayed 10, 15 minutes and I would leave. And I just made sure I had to keep going back to be with her because the person she was then is not the person she was for 85 years of her life, where she was just an amazing person and mother, grandmother, and a great-grandmother. But with that all being said, it's inspired me to do something to help other families because the caregiver and what my parents were going through was they were suffering. And I just wanted to do something to honor my grandmother and help other families that may be going through this disease. And what I decided to do was in 2016, my grandmother was 90 years old. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to run 90 miles from Montauk to my hometown, Plainview, to St. Pius Church. So I ran from St. Teresa Church in Montauk to Plainview. That was what I set out to do. And I said, I'm going to run 90 miles over 3 days, 30 miles a day. And I'm going to do it in honor of my grandmother, Anna Sparrow. And I'm going to do it for the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center. And I went and I told my family this. And I said, I went to my parents. We were at Christmas. And I said, listen, I'm going to run 90 miles for grandma and just raise money. And, you know, it's crazy when you tell people that you want to run 90 miles. It's not something normal. And my parents and family, and rightfully so, they said, you shouldn't do that. Just go visit your grandmother. You're going to get hurt. You don't know what you're doing. Who runs 90 miles? You're going to run across Long Island in 3 days? That's impossible. But I just felt so inspired to do this to help other people that I was willing to do anything to get that completed. And I started my training early on in 2016. I started running and I was doing a lot of good things. We were getting media attention. I started raising some money, and I'll never forget, there was a week in June in 2016 where it was really hot and I wasn't hydrating enough. And on a Friday night, I was just really dehydrated. I remember going to bed dehydrated. And the next day, I had a family event in New York City in the afternoon. And when I went to bed, I just wasn't feeling my best. And in the middle of the night, I had to let my dog out. And I let my dog out, and it was 3 a.m, and I just got those little white dots that you see when you get dizzy. And next thing you know, I wake up, and I'm on the floor, and I had passed out from dehydration. I hit the tile floor, and I had 2 big gash marks under my eye, and I had blood pouring out of my face. I had to go to the emergency room, and I got 20 stitches. My eye blew up out to here, and the next day, I had to be at this family party. I go into the New York City. All my family is there. And this is the first time I got to see everybody since I told them at Christmas that I want to do this 90-mile run. And they all said, We told you shouldn't do this. You hurt yourself. And I was so upset because I was doing so good and I just didn't hydrate well enough and I fell. And now all the people that I was doing this for were telling me that they were right and I shouldn't be doing it. And at that moment, when I left that day, I'll never forget, I was driving back from New York City to Plainview and I thought to myself, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks when you have a vision. And this was my vision, to help people and to honor my grandmother. And I just said, I have to do something different. I can't do, if I want to do some extraordinary things, I can't be normal. I can't do normal things. Like, normal is not part of this anymore. And that's when I learned I had to get a running coach. I had to get a nutritionist. And I had to learn how to change my mindset because I was going to do something that was pretty much impossible for most people. And I just started to learn each day. It's like, all right, I just got to focus on today and make today the best day possible, not the 90 miles. And I learned how to work through this and focus on the vision and other people and why I was doing this. And that's what kept me motivated. And in 2016, I ran 90 miles over 3 days. We raised $37,000 for the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center. We had an amazing crowd at St. Pius. I was in the local newspapers, on TV. We just had an amazing year. And it's all about your vision. So I want you to know, if you have a vision and no one else believes in it, but it's for good, it's all right. You don't need people to support you, because I learned that I was willing to do everything and anything to run those 90 miles. And it didn't matter if my parents and my family was like, oh, Jay, you can do it. You're the best. And it doesn't matter if people are against you and saying you shouldn't do it, you can't do it. Both of those are distractions, right? And both of those scenarios with those other people telling you, no, you can't do it, or yes, you can, that doesn't get me up in the morning to run 20 miles on one day for a training run, 15 miles the next day on a training run, and then 10 miles the day after that. I need to believe it, and I need to know that I can do this and why I'm doing it. Your why needs to be bigger than your quit. So I knew that my grandmother was the most important thing, and the people in the community, and that's what kept me going. And another lesson I learned is, after that year, having such an amazing year in 2016, I knew I can't walk around 2017 asking people to donate to the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center because I did something the year prior. You're not your past. Whether you have success or failure, you're not your past. You are what you do today. And you need to make each day the best day possible. So in 2017, it would have been my grandparents' 75th wedding anniversary. So I decided I was going to run 48.8 miles in one day, and then the New York City Marathon the following day, which is 26.2 miles. And there's always going to be setbacks. So as I went out, now I learned how to train the right way. I learned my vision. And believe it or not, the same people are saying I shouldn't run 90 miles were the same people telling me I shouldn't run 75 miles. And I went out on a training run and I turned my ankle and I had an ankle injury. And you know what? People are like, you don't have to run. But I do. Like, people are going to tell you that it's easy, the easy way out. And when I had this sprained ankle during my training, I couldn't run. So I found out another way of training. I did hot yoga. I mean, I never did hot yoga before. I was embarrassing myself by falling over. I'm around people that know what they're doing. I didn't, but I learned to just keep showing up because this was going to help me to my goal. I went to hot yoga, and the benefits of me going is it gave me muscle strength in my feet and my ankles and my legs, which would help me with running. I went into a pool and started swimming. I didn't know how to swim, and I had to teach myself how to swim so I could get that cardio because I couldn't run. And I had a bike, and I got a mountain bike, and I started biking at many miles just so I could help my body train while I had an ankle injury. And I got through it. And in 2017, I ran 75 miles in 2 days. I ran 48.8 miles in one day. And I'll never forget, with 6 miles to go in that 48-mile run, my kneecap popped. And I understood it was my IT band. And I was limping for 6 miles. And now the next day I'm going to the New York City Marathon, and I have all these runners around me who's super excited. They're all healthy, and I'm limping to the starting line, literally limping, pulling my leg to the starting line to run 26.2 miles, a marathon. And I just said, just got one foot in front of the other. And I kept thinking about caregivers, because those people that take care of their loved ones who have memory loss, they have no support and they have no help. And they can't quit on their loved one. And when I went to that starting line, I said, I can't quit on those people. This is who I'm doing it for. And not only did I run on one leg, it started raining. It was awful weather. I was so slow. I mean, I was so slow running that, I mean, it was nighttime and they were like sweeping up all the cups. Like it was almost over the race, but I finished it. And I did 75 miles in 2 days. And then the following year, again, you're not your past. Whether you have success or you fail, you're not your past. You are what you do today. And the following year in 2018, I'm scared of swimming. I'm scared of drowning. And I decided I was going to do an Ironman. An Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, an 112 mile bike, and then a 26.2 mile run. I mean, that is what they call an Ironman. It is a hard competition. 1% of the population complete that a year. I mean, that it's really hard. And I didn't know how to swim yet. So I had to teach myself how to swim. And for 6 months, 6.5 months, I got up every day at 5 a.m. and I trained every single day for 6.5 months. And when I got to race day and I put all this time and effort in, when I got to Ironman in Lake Placid, there's 2,000 other people going into water. When I got in the water, I didn't train with other people. I trained in the pool. But when I got in the water, someone swam over me. Somebody kicked me in the side of the head and I got elbowed in the back of the head. And I ingested so much lake water that I started vomiting in the water. And a boat had to come and take me out, and they just put me on the side of the race. And all I kept thinking about is I worked hard every day for 6.5 months, and now my race is over. Within 40 minutes, the entire race was over, and I was training to race for about 14 hours. I was embarrassed. People were staring at me, spectators and fans, and I was so embarrassed. But I failed. And I wanted to go back to the house and just sit in the basement and be quiet and just be by myself and be mad at the world. Instead, I tried doing something different. I got my running shoes and I went for a run. I ran a marathon on my own that day, and it felt good. And then I had other friends that were doing that race that day, and I supported them. I put my difficult day and I focused on other people. I focused on what could I do? All right, my day didn't go the way it was supposed to, but what could I do today to make it better? And I ran 26 miles on my own that day, not even part of the race. Probably one of the hardest runs I ever did. And then I went and supported my friends and watched them finish their race. And then 6 weeks later, I found out there was a half Ironman, which is a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike, and a 13.1 mile run back up in Lake Placid. And I signed up for that. And I worked so hard, 6 more weeks, and I went back up there and I finished that race. And that, you could fail, you get knocked down, you get back up, and you could keep going. And I got that done. Nobody cared, but for me, it's all about you. In this world, it's you versus you. It's not about you versus anybody else. And that race and that year and every day of my life, I'm trying to get better than I was yesterday. And that's what life's about. And it's about helping people. You just need to be better than who you were yesterday. Now, after that, we've raised close to $80,000 at this point. And the following year, my grandmother passed away, which was really difficult, but I just wanted to keep going and doing something. So I decided that I was going to run 100 miles so we could get close to that $100,000 donation mark. And I was going to do it on a track. Now, that's 400 laps on a track. 400 laps on a track. I mean, that's crazy. But I was so dedicated to the cause, so dedicated to the caregiver, giving back to the community, inspiring other people that you can do anything. You put your mind to it, you can do anything. And the thing that I learned was I had to make running 100 miles normal. Every day I woke up in the morning, it's like, I'm running 100 miles. And I had a plan. I knew how many days it will take me, I had to train. And every day I get up, I just do little things each day that are going to get me closer to my ultimate goal. And if I chip away at it every single day, I'll be able to run that 100 miles. And that's what I did. I trained so hard and I made the best of every day. And when I got to the track, it was 100 miles. And I would run 3 miles in one direction on the track, 3 miles in the other direction. And the other thing with that track, it didn't have lights at night. So I was running in the dark, and then I started to go blind, if you will, because I couldn't see anymore. And the track was so tucked away, it was so quiet, I couldn't hear. So at 1 a.m., I decided just to run. There was a corporate building outside of Kellenberg Memorial High School by Nassau Coliseum, and I would run around this corporate building, which was like a mile, and I just had the lights from the street lights and the sound of the cars. And I ran it's about solutions. You got to come up with solutions when you have a problem. And that was my solution, was to run around that corporate building. And I ran from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. around that corporate building. And then I completed that run in 29 hours. And Everything and anything is possible. I ran 100 miles in 29 hours on a track, guys. Like, you can do anything. You put your mind to it. And my why, to represent my grandmother and honor her life and help people, that's what got me to run 100 miles. So I just want you to focus on doing what you can do. Now this year, and then last year, let's say we have a pandemic. And in life, right, I was signed up for an Ironman to make up for that year that I failed. I wanted to do an Ironman because I didn't get that ultimate goal. And yeah, the pandemic hit, and the race that I was supposed to run for Ironman in September in Maryland was canceled because of the pandemic. But I've learned I get to control my life. Things can go on outside this world that tells me I can't do something because a race was canceled, or I can say, I'm going to do this. And that's what I did. During the pandemic, I kept training. The race was canceled, and what I did was I came up with a solution. I'm not going to go to Maryland, but I'm going to go to Tobay Beach in Wantagh, and I'm going to swim in that bay 2.4 miles. Then I did a 112-mile bike ride on the bike path from Cedar Creek to Tobay. That's only about 16 miles long. I did 112 miles back and forth, back and forth. And then I ran a marathon and a 1.5-mile loop in the Cedar Creek Park. And I did an Ironman in a pandemic in a park in Wantagh. And we talk about how Ironman, only 1% of the population does that a year. Well, let me tell you, I think it's like 0.22% that did an Ironman last year during a pandemic. And I'm not saying that I'm great, because I'm not. That was for me. That was for me to know, how tough are you, Jay? Can you keep going when everything tells you to stop in a pandemic? And I'm not special at all. We all have greatness inside of us, but I'm learning how to get it out. And I'm trying to hope tonight that you're getting some of the things that I've done to get that greatness out. It's about being humble. It's about being grateful. Gratitude is the best attitude. Focus on your vision. Focus on the day. And I'm not great. And it's a competition between me and me. We have distractions every day. I work full time. I have a wife. I have an 8-year-old. I have a 5-year-old. I put things in priority. The 5 things that I live by is God, family, work, training, and giving back. Now, there's nothing else in my 5 about golfing or, having the time of my life with friends. That's because that's just not with that. That's not my 5. But those 5 things, if I do them each day, then I know I have a great day. And this year, guys, like I said, I'm going to be running from the Lighthouse in Montauk to the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center in Westbury, 100 miles in a weekend, 50 miles on October 2nd, 50 miles on October 3rd, completing 100 miles. You guys are part of this run, giving me this opportunity to speak to you. I hope that I've inspired you. I want to answer any questions you have. I hope this is just not it, where you get to see a video of me. Hopefully one day we get to meet. I think, being part of the National Honor Society, you're doing great things. Help people in the community. People need help. And I tell you, when you help somebody, it's the greatest thing that you can do for yourself. Use your talents. Use your abilities to help others. It's going to change your life forever. You all have greatness inside of you. You just need to get it out. Some people believe they're so great. Arrogance is not part of confidence. It's not. All right? So I am grateful. I am honored. I am humbled that I had this opportunity to share my story. I have so much more I'd love to share with you. I am at the 21-minute mark, so I do need to go. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, National Honor Society. Thank you, Plainview Old Bethpage High School. I am here for you whenever you need me. Please support me in the run, the Anna Sparrow run, however you'd like. We love to collaborate with you, and thank you so much. Again, I'm honored, grateful, thankful. God bless. Thank you so much.
Once again, welcome. Tonight is a time for award and recognition. It is a time we honor these juniors for their high academic achievement and for their involvement in community and school efforts. Finally, it is a night to applaud you, their parents and families, for your support and dedication to the POB school programs. The juniors we are inducting this evening will join a select group of young men and women around the country as members of the National Honor Society, which was founded in 1921. The society is not just an honor roll, but recognizes these juniors who have demonstrated excellence in the 4 main areas: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. I'd now like to introduce our faculty advisor, Mrs. Kelly Verdi.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Verdi, and I'm the advisor for the Robert F. Sabat chapter of the National Honor Society here at Plainview OBFH John F. Kennedy High School. Tonight, we will be inducting 194 new members into this prestigious society. I believe a special congratulations is in order. Well done. And a congratulations to the parents and families of these remarkable young people. Your unconditional love, guidance, support, and encouragement throughout the years is a big reason why your sons and daughters are here tonight. Your efforts definitely paid off. Also, a big thank you to our teachers, administrators, Board of Ed, and staff for their contributions and unwavering dedication to our students. A special thank you to Ms. Beltrani, who has overseen the Honor Society this year and helped us through a very tough year, finding out creative ways to offer our membership the opportunity to have an eventful and meaningful year as members of National Honor Society. This marks my 4th year as the faculty advisor of the National Honor Society, and every year the passion for this society never ceases to amaze me. I would like to thank our current members for their continued commitment to service within the school and the community. You are setting a high standard of service for our future members. For the 194 members being honored tonight, you were selected based on 4 criteria, inscribed in our Honor Society emblem: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. You excel in academics, but this is only part of the reason you are here. Inside you, a fire drives you to give your time, to give your knowledge, to give your energy to those who need it the most. You do not sit back and rely on your ability to study and work tirelessly in your classes. That is not enough for you. You have taken an active role in your lives. You share the belief that a few can help to inspire many. You are selfless leaders who give service to others without worrying about what you will receive in return. It has been said, a sign of a good leader is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. I have been honored as the advisor to mentor and advise the best and the brightest members of the POB chapter, and I hope they carry the legacy of NHS with them as they continue to reach their goals. The candles you will see during our ceremony tonight symbolize the honor that our new members have earned and the responsibility they have accepted by securing membership in the National Honor Society. This is not only a rite of passage for our new membership, but also our graduating members. Congratulations again to our new inductees. At this time, I would like to introduce our Public Relations Secretary, Sachin Basin, to discuss the Honor Society Credo.
Serving one another in the community is embodied in the motto of the National Honor Society, Noblesse oblige. The phrase Noblesse oblige stands for nobility obliges. With power and prestige come great responsibilities. Being part of the National Honor Society is a special privilege. Once members are inducted, they are required to maintain their active membership status by upholding the standards of the National Honor Society and fulfilling certain obligations. The membership in the Plainview OBFH chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by effective demonstration of the 4 virtues held in high esteem by the society. National Honor Society bestows 3 types of membership in their society. Active members, which the juniors sitting on stage will all be once you are inducted tonight. Alumni members, which is what you will become once you graduate your senior years with National Honor Society honors, and honorary membership. Honorary membership can be bestowed upon students or faculty and staff members in recognition of achievement and outstanding service rendered to the school in keeping with the purposes of the National Honor Society. This year, the Executive Board of the National Honor Society would like to recognize someone special who has gone above and beyond for this community, this school, and especially to our chapter here at POBJFK.
This year, POBJFK High School National Honor Society is honoring a teacher that exemplifies the 4 guiding principles we uphold. This teacher has inspired students to become self-aware leaders through constant encouragement. This teacher is someone who is very important to the officers and members of National Honor Society. When asking the students why they nominated and selected this teacher, many students expressed that they have worked and learned alongside her since freshman year at JFK, and since the very first day, she has treated them like the adults she believes they will grow up to be. Her love and passion for teaching is easily recognizable by her students, and her hard work ethic does not go unnoticed by others. She approaches every situation with grace and confidence, and she is not afraid to be challenged. I am lucky enough to have worked beside her these past 4 years and have seen her shine not only as a teacher, but as an advisor, a mentor, and a role model. I am pleased to present this year's Honorary Membership Award to Ms. Laura Eifert.
Congratulations to Mrs. Laura Eifert, and again, thank you for all that you do and continue to do for us all here at POBJFK High School. I would now like 4 officers to review each of our 4 pillars of virtue for the inductees. First, scholarship.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education is ended, for education ends only with life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the high success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Inductees join the charge to continually expand their worlds through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. The young men and women before you have demonstrated their dedication to scholarship by facing academic challenges head-on and maintaining the highest GPAs in their grade. I would now like the candle representing scholarship.
Character. Character is the force within each individual, which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one of us individuality. It is the force of character, which guides one through life, and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choices. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must make a reality what we wish to appear in others, by demonstrating such qualities as responsibility, honesty, and sincerity. We may hope to prove by example that we value character. The individuals who are being inducted tonight have shown exemplary traits that make them stand out from the rest of their peers. They do this by making choices to the best of their ability on a daily basis and by taking the steps necessary to correct any wrongdoing that might have occurred. They are all truly unique individuals and excellent role models for the members of Plainview Old Page community. I will now light the candle representing character.
Leadership. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffective without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantial charge to each of our members and to the candidates. In addition to maintaining academic excellence, the students sitting before you have spent endless hours dedicating themselves to the leadership roles in various clubs and organizations within the Plainview Old Page community. These students are team captains, club officers, and influential members of various organizations outside of the school district. I will now light the candle representing leadership.
Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow. The selflessness of the group sitting before you is immeasurable. These ideal young men and women volunteer in soup kitchens, hospitals, and tutor students within the community. They also spend countless hours raising money and educating the public on various hardships that affect members of our society. One of the most important services National Honor Society members provide for the community is tutoring others. Our members tutor other high school students as well as younger students in all grades. They tutor various subjects and sometimes help the younger students with organizational skills as well. Community members have come to rely upon our students to assist their children. Many of our members take part in the tutoring service, and they truly make a positive difference on the life of others. I will now light the candle representing service.
Thank you. I would now like to help congratulate the inductees as they accept their membership into the Robert F. Sabat of the National Honor Society. We ask that you please hold all applause until the end. Will the inductees please rise?
Lily Adenalfi, Sage Adler, Abigail Akarov, Sabrina Alderiso, Ava Amor, Justin Antonucci, Rachel Baker, Emily Becker, Nicole Beinstock, David Bellumo, Ava Belmonte, Elon Ben Yosef, Gabriela Benhamo, Kunjan Banat, Emily Burns, Amanda Blum, Benjamin Blumberg, Ryan Bornstein, Adam Bracha, Danielle Brenner, Amy Brickell, Jacob Brodsky, Kevin Burke, Amy Cantor, Gabrielle Capella, Sarah Corella, Justin Chan, Matthew Cheng, Ojish Chaudhary, Abigail Chen, Allison Chertoff, Justine Choi.
Samuel Chan, Hunter Cohen, Jenna Cohen, Ella Corbett, Avery Kreis, Tyler Dady, Aiden Davis, Julia Duratovic, Caitlin Eng, Jackie Fan, Ava Feinberg, Marissa Fiordimondo, Rachel Fisher, Amanda Fong, Haley Fox, Christopher Franco, Aaron Frickman, Matthew Fryman, Rachel Fugini, Kimberly Gang, Dane Gannon, Mason Garvey, Nicole Geller, Emily Germanton, Emily Gerson, Brody Gursky, Jake Glasser, Zoe Gleber, Leo Goldberg, Chloe Goldberg, Samuel Goldberg, Jacob Goldfarb, Rachel Gordon.
Jacob Greta, Jeremy Grossman, Alexis Gruberger, Haley Guthart, Julia Hall, Emma Hansen, Sophie Heichman, Annie Heischober, Carly Hirsch, Nicole Hilber, Gianna Inzarello, Catherine Gijo, Alexandra Kaminsky, Sabrina Karimzada, Stephen Karlquist, Zachary Katz, Navneet Kaur, Ilana Kessler, Michael Calfin, Sia Kader, Grace Kim, Josephine Kim, Daniel Kim, Lex Kim, James Kim, Jarrett Kim, Elizabeth Kim, Emma Kimmel, Haley Klein, Jessica Klein, Jessica Naster, Rachel Nee, Danielle Colton.
Isabel Legnato, Jessica Layton, Leah Lederer, Una Lee, Victoria Lee, Tyler Least, Max Leibowitz, Jake Leitner, Jacob Larea, Shoshana Lerman, Abigail Lev, Brianna Lewis, Hannah Lieberman, Seok-Yun Lim, Rachel Liu, Daniel Lombardo, Alexis Marquesano, Charles Merritt, Mitchell Meyer, Jillian Meow, Dylan Mitas, Annika Mohapatra, Dara Newman, Ava Nguyen, Andre Oganessian, Gabrielle Oliva, Dia Pahilajani, James Paoli, Ethan Park, Rachel Pasternak, Avani Patel, Daniela Perlman,
Aaron Perchekli,
Jacqueline Prince, Athena Pradonentis, James Pradonentis, Jenna Rabin, Swarup Rayapatrawar, Alyssa Reefer, Alyssa Reese, Daniel Reese, Vivian Reyes, Jordan Ricciuti, Rachel Rodriguez, Callista Rodriguez, Brianna Rogers, Jonathan Rakowski, Jordan Rosenberg, Michael Rosenberg, Devin Rosner, Abigail Ruthin, Peyton Sack, Brandon Sackstein, Srihan Sai, Tarunika Sasikumar, Kelly Shank, Jennifer Schur, Olivia Schmidt, Hunter Scott, Miles Serpico, Shoshana Shapiro, Evan Scheinwald, Daniel Shemetov, Aiden Shore, Danielle Silverstone, Molly Singer, Lauren Siriani,
Jordan Slade, Natalia Sokolov, Kayla Solarsh, Jessica Solomon, Jamin Song, Gabrielle Sorge, Tara Sperry, Emma Sprung, Brianna Steiner, Arnab Surjan, Christopher Tasson, Joel Thompson, Jordan Tizard, Elizabeth Sang, Ella Toomey, Jacob Zaw, Bridget Urban, Gersiman Basir, Erin Vieira, Sophie Baraldor, Cindy Wang, Alexandra Whitmore, Marcus Weisenhart, Ashlyn Wu, Fiona Wu, Jordan Yagaloff, Remy Zellen, Jennifer Zhu, and Jared Zidman.
Will the inductees please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat the following oath? I pledge myself to uphold the high principles of National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Thank you. You may be seated. We will now induct the new officers for the 2021 to 2022 school year. The installation of any group of officers is an important and serious occasion. You have indicated your faith and trust in your elected officers to serve for the upcoming year. Their service and accomplishments depend largely on your cooperation. Following is as important as leading. In any organization, there comes a time when some must lead and others must follow. The National Honor Society is founded upon the principles of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. In all of your undertakings, may you always keep in mind these guiding principles. A candle's but a simple thing. It starts with just a bit of string. Yet dipped and dipped with patient hand, it gathers wax upon the strand. Until complete and snowy white, it gives at last a lovely light. Life seems so like that bit of string. Each deed we do a simple thing. Yet day by day, if on life's strand, we work with patient heart and hand. It gathers joy, makes dark days bright, and gives at last a lovely light.
At this time, it is customary that the outgoing officers would introduce live at inductions the names of the esteemed team that will lead this impressive group of students during the next school year. Last year, due to the pandemic, we were able to start a new tradition that replaced this temporarily. While we were unable to pin the new officers in person, we pinned their lawns instead. At this time, members of the outgoing board are live outside the houses of our new 2021-22 executive board, surprising our new members who have won this coveted role as the executive board for NHS. Please make sure to check our Twitter stream for updates and posts of the newly inducted executive board members for the 2021-22 school year. Congratulations to all that ran, as this was not an easy decision to make. Outgoing officers, you have made the candles which you will pass on to your successors. You have worked with patient care, made dark ways bright. We thank you for all of your efforts. They have added to the history of this organization. We now ask you to pass your lighted candles to your successor. We welcome the new officers of our chapter.
New officers, you have been duly elected by your peers to assume positions of leadership for our chapter. In accepting these offices, you have indicated your willingness to give the best in time and effort to carry out the principles of the National Honor Society. Yours is an important responsibility as well as a privilege. The world today, as never before, needs faithful and efficient leaders, and your chapter is looking to you to lead its members. Hold high the torch. You did not light its glow. 'Twas given to you from other hands you know. 'Tis only yours to keep it burning bright, yours to pass on when you no more need light. For there are other feet that you must guide, and other forms go marching by your side. Some day in turn they'll lift it high and say, I watched another carry it this way. May your light blaze forth for a successful year, and at the expiration of your term of office, may it be passed on with the satisfaction that much was accomplished for the welfare of our school and our chapter. Congratulations. We would now like to invite our esteemed principal, Mr. James Murray, to offer some words to our newly inducted members.
Good evening. I am honored to be given the opportunity to acknowledge the contributions of our newly inducted National Honor Society members during the current school year. We heard about their many and varied contributions to our school community. I am most proud of all this chapter has accomplished, especially in the year of a pandemic. The members of this Honor Society have demonstrated once again how we can all make a difference in the lives of others. I thank you, our dedicated members, and their parents and guardians. Your support, encouragement, and understanding have facilitated their success. Thank you, Mrs. Verdi, our wonderful advisor, for the tireless work you have done with your membership. And Mrs. Beltrani, our assistant principal who oversees Honor Society activities. I greatly appreciate the support you give your terrific students. I now challenge you all to continue to follow the ideals of the National Honor Society. In a world that can appear to be increasingly less kind, you have the interest, power, and heart necessary for creating a better tomorrow. In closing, I am certain the newly inducted members of the Robert J. Savitt chapter of the National Honor Society will continue to inspire, amaze, and help shape a better world. Keep the flame that burns alive so that others may see. Congratulations to you all.
Congratulations, everyone. Before we end tonight's ceremony, we usually announce our recipients of the 2021 Senior Scholarship for NHS. Both scholarships, leadership and service, will be announced and posted on our Google Classroom stream, as well as the NHS Twitter page, right after today's broadcast. Congratulations again to everyone present tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be very proud of your children, who are the most distinguished in their grade. With your support and dedication, these students are on their way to achieving much success. To our new inductees, never stop making a positive impact on our school and community by embodying the characteristics of leadership, scholarship, character, and service. We expect big things from you in the following year. I would like to thank all of you for joining us this evening to honor the accomplishments of these outstanding students. And I would especially like to thank our distinguished guests, especially Mr. Jay Sparrow from the Long Island Alzheimer's and Dementia Center. We thank you for taking the time to really inspire us to be better, to work harder, and to inspire others. On behalf of our superintendent, the Board of Education, our principal, the administrative team, and the entire faculty, congratulations, good luck, and good night.